Sticking.
All right. Hi, and thanks for coming to watch our video from Carolina Varsity. We're looking at the 2016 NCHSAA playoffs, and we have a very big second round game between Mallard Creek and Butler.
All right, so this is the game me and Brandon will be attending Friday night. Something new we're going to do called Unsung Heroes. We're going to take one person from each team that you probably hadn't heard about this season and tell you why they're important. So for Butler, that's defensive tackle Maurice McLean. He does a great job in keeping those big offensive linemen off of those linebackers on the defense. And for Mallard Creek, that's going to be big lineman Grant Gibson, who can play both sides of the football. He's a big key in the success they have on the lines of scrimmage for the Mavericks. This game, Butler's dominated people since they lost to Mallard Creek, while Mallard Creek's lost two tough games with two very tough opponents in South Point and Vance. The winner of this game is going to meet the winner of Vance Myers Park. For Butler, I think they got to take advantage of some things that Mallard Creek does on defense that lends them to be so aggressive. You got to look at some screens, and you got to look at some traps inside and off tackle. As long as the Butler offensive line can move well in space, and that's on pulls and getting out on screen passes. Also, they might want to look at some flood routes and move the pocket, rolling out cheat to get away from that constant pass rush that Mallard Creek can do to you. Defensively, you got to put 8 in the box, take away the run, tackle well in space, and your DBs have got to work on preventing the deep ball, especially the one-on-ones on the fades to Jones and Abel on the outside. For Mallard Creek, we talked a lot about the penalties that they've had all season long. And, we all know that's something they have to correct if they want to advance to the next round against this Butler team. Outside of that, though, they got to get Butler behind and get off to a big start. If Butler's going to get out into a lead, they're going to feel confident and they're going to feel like they have a chance. Mallard Creek's a 3-time state champion, and that gives you a mental edge already. And that can't be lost with a slow start in the first quarter. You got to make them feel you if you're Mallard Creek and impose your will starting on the lines of scrimmage on both sides of the football. Caldwell's running at quarterback's going to play a big role, I believe, in this game. And defensively, they got to get off the cheek like they did before. If they can't do that, Cheek's going to be really good throwing the football, and that's going to be a big problem for the Mallard Creek secondary.
Yeah, if Caldwell's at quarterback, didn't we read that Matkins played some quarterback last week?
We did. That is correct. That is a good question.
They may be making some changes there so that they can throw more. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But that is one thing that occurred in the last ball game.
Yep.
Of course, I think the first big thing in this ball game, the difference is going to be is can the coaching situation offset the penalty situation? And
right.
About the coaching situation, I've been asked by many people, is Hale's going to coach this week? And so there's some people out there that seem to think Hale's may be coaching this week. So
interesting.
Can't get a straight answer on it, but I guess if I did and they didn't want to share it, I couldn't share it. But so there's some people that seem to think that may be. I think that's going to be obviously one of the big items here is can the Butler coaches that are now running head coach, offensive coordinator, etc.
Right.
How are they able to operate in this big of a game? Obviously, last week they had no test of that.
No.
It is really going to be important for Mallard Creek to attempt to cut down the big penalties, at least the penalties that occur after the whistle. Those are things they've got to find a way to control. That hurt them in their Vance game. Mm-hmm. It's hurt them in every game, and nearly cost them a game against Huff.
Yep.
So definitely they need to get that in check. I was at the first meeting of these two, and it was a game that Mallard Creek did very well in and did pull out, but then Butler did find a way to pull back into the game, and then Mallard Creek kind of walked away again in the second half. But walking away, it was a 35-20 final, so it was a 2-score game. An interesting thing for people that may not know, these teams have met the last 4 years in the playoffs. This will be the 5th year that they will have met in the playoffs. Previous 2 seasons, it was in the second round, and Mallard Creek won both of those ball games. Last year, 35-30. Butler won the previous 2 times in 2012 and 2013. So these teams keep running into each other. The report is predicting a Butler 38-16 win.
Oh, wow.
Of course, that's based on Hales being there coaching, and that's
Right.
just the power thing. And you'd expect that the game would probably be, even if Hales was there, it's going to be a little bit closer than that.
Yeah, I agree.
I would think Butler full strength is still not going to be a 38-16 win. I could see, and I think we both favored Butler prior to this situation. Now you kind of got to favor Mallard Creek, I think.
I believe they are the favorite.
Exactly. So tell us what you think. There is a little bit going on in the forum, and attend the ball game. Let us know what you thought about it, and say hey to him.
Please do.
Thanks for watching.